When you're able to walk away from the narcissist and keep on going, it really drives them crazy. When narcissists push people away or discard them, in the back of their minds, they have a narrative written. And the narrative goes something along the lines of, you won't be able to make it on your own. You're going to want them back. You're going to beg for them back. You're going to plead for them back. You just don't have it in you to make it on your own without them. And as soon as you go your way and you keep on going, the narcissist expects you to come back to them. They expect you to show signs that you are desperately in need of them in your life. And that's the narrative they've written, and they can only feel okay with the discard if their narrative actually manifests. But when you change the narrative, when you flip the scripts, when you prove to them that they're not as important as they thought they were in your life, you're stronger than they gave you credit for, that you just are going to be happy, you're going to go out and just live your life, all of a sudden they can't help but see a certain value in you that they didn't realize before. And it really eats at them, because now all of a sudden they realize that they don't have the good end of the deal, that things have ended between you two, but it's not really on their terms anymore, because the terms that they want is to see you miserable without them. The terms that they want is to see that you need them more than they need you. You know, this is a narrative which they must see through to be okay with the discard. But when you make it on your own and you're showing that you don't need them, and you change that narrative, you write your own narrative, you write the history, you write your own story the way you want it to be and the way it should be, then that's where the narcissist all of a sudden becomes attracted towards you again. They feel the strong pull towards you to somehow, they want to get you back in their orbit so that they can try to be an important part of your life again, to try to make you dependent on them again. And of course, once they get you back in their orbit and dependent on them again, they'll try to devalue you, make you feel bad, so they can then push you away again. So it's cyclical, as you can see. So the worst thing from the narcissist perspective that can happen when they've broken up with their partner is that the partner is okay with the breakup, that the partner's not begging and pleading for the narcissist back, that the partner has shown that they don't need the narcissist, because then the narcissist feels devalued. They feel unimportant. They feel irrelevant. And it's as if now they target you again because you are the only one who can make them feel better. And to make them feel better, they need to A, get you back into their orbit, and B, devalue you again so they can come out on top. So it's a weird thing, walking away and being able to walk away, and how that reattracts the narcissist because they see your value. And the thing is, even if you want absolutely nothing to do with them, even if you just don't want anything to do with them, it takes a long time and a real struggle for them to really shake the idea you off their mind. And they'll usually only ever do that after having attempted many times to get back into your life, and assuming that they didn't succeed. It can take years sometimes, because you really hit their ego where it hurts, that they're not as important as they thought they were. So just because you walking away often or usually attracts the narcissist back into your life doesn't mean you should entertain them in any way. In fact, you shouldn't. You should entertain other people, other ideas, other hobbies, other work endeavors, but you should not entertain the narcissist, because they just want to destroy all that. Because if they can destroy all the good things you have going on at work, new relationships, new activities, anything you're doing, if they can destroy that, then they feel better about themselves. So you just remember that, and it's not it's one of those things that it's not just narcissistic relationships, but even normal relationships where you have, people who are relatively healthy in their mind. Even when there's a normal breakup, when one person manages to walk away and not need the other person back, that it's hard for people not to find that attractive because it just shows you have value. So even when one person dumps the other person, the dumpee in this instance, the fact that the dumpee, if they don't beg and plead and make a fool of themselves trying to get the dumper back, all of a sudden the dumper feels like they were the ones who were dumped because they don't get the ongoing the validation of their importance because the other person keeps trying to get them back. So all that's magnified in a narcissistic relationship because narcissists have like a super ego. They're super proud and they have this cocky sense of confidence. So when things don't pan out the way they want, it disproportionately affects them. But this whole thing around if you get dumped or kind of devalued by somebody, even if it's not a narcissist, but you kind of get pushed away, the person who was pushed away or dumped in this case, when they manage to go away and just they manage to go away and they accept that decision and they don't try to get the other person back, that very quickly increases the value of the person who walked away. And then the person who dumped, the one who walked away, all of a sudden feels like they were the ones who were dumped because there's that kind of value switch. So yeah, it's a very normal phenomenon, this whole kind of value switch, and the one who manages to walk away being seen as more valuable. But when you're with the narcissist, the impact that has on the narcissist is much more magnified than it does in more normal relationships and breakups.